All right. Now we have number 5 Cincinnati versus Andrew's number 12 seed Harvard.
Oh, yeah.
You gonna pick Harvard again this year? You're sticking with Harvard.
I'm on the Harvard train.
You're on the Harvard train.
Are we all on the Harvard train?
No.
Oh.
Cincy.
What?
Cincy has. I don't think Cincy has the offense, and Harvard just has an all-around good team. They can score from each position. I don't think Cincy will be able to play their stingy defense on all 5 players.
They're nerds.
Harvard last year.
Yeah, that's the point. They can calculate the correct trajectory.
Oh my God.
And score at will.
You're right. I gotta change that. You're so right.
Harvard last year won a game in the tournament without 2 of their best players because they were in suspension last year. They're back now.
I'm well aware of that one.
Yeah. So I think it's gonna be a win for them.
All right.
Yeah.
You're saying that this one's gonna be much closer than a 5 to 12 seed would look like on paper.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm the only one going Cincy there. We got Michigan State versus Delaware. Delaware won their conference against William and Mary. I was actually watching that game. Don't ask me why, but I was watching that game. What the Blue Hens? The Fighting Blue Hens. You think they're gonna fight?
School I almost went to.
Me too.
Look at that. We would have known each other in Delaware.
See.
I got him in Delaware.
Yeah, look at that.
Look at us.
Look, we would all have known each other.
Opt-out for New Jersey.
Exactly.
All right, so we got the Spartans versus the Fighting Blue Hens.
I think we probably all have Michigan State.
Yes.
Michigan State is way too hot right now.
I would be a lot more tempted to pick Delaware against whoever the other 4 seeds are besides Louisville.
Yeah.
I would be a lot more tempted to pick Delaware.
San Diego State.
Yeah. I would have. I probably would have went Delaware.
UCLA.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I think Delaware is a good team. It's just, they just got a tough opponent in Michigan State, and
a real tough draw for Delaware. I mean, Michigan State's my champion, so obviously they're moving on.
I really enjoy when you look like I'm looking at the ESPN quick little analysis of the teams, right?
Yep.
And it says the notable results, the teams. The 3 notable results for Delaware are all losses. They don't have a notable win.
Oh.
Well, I mean, they don't play in a big conference at all.
They beat William and Mary.
I mean, but they are a good team. They know how to score. They play some decent defense. It's Michigan State.
Yeah, I think this game's going to be a blowout.
All right, next we got number 6 UNC going against number 11 Providence, who Providence won the Big East tournament, of course, beating St. John's in the first round. Womp womp womp. But North Carolina, UNC, they really show up against top 25 teams. I got North Carolina winning this one.
Yeah, but technically this is not a top 25 team.
I understand this. However,
they do show up.
They show up for big games. Is what I'm trying to say.
They show up for big games, but I actually took Providence. I think Providence is on a roll right now.
Their mascot's so scary.
It is very
well.
Very
The good thing is we're not picking a bracket based on the mascot.
Yeah.
Well, otherwise, that would be very.
Speak for yourself, guys.
I remember.
We know it's philosophy now.
Yep.
A few
that
years
and
ago,
rebounds.
Matt Hasselbeck's son picked his team by the mascots alone, which mascot he liked better, and was like top 5 in the country.
That's great.
See, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going with Providence here. You know, I've watched them play all year in the Big East, and I think they just continue their wrecking ball path there. I think they can pull the upset against UNC.
They're going in pretty hot too.
Yeah, I mean, I want to pick a Big East team, but Bryce Cotton will make this game interesting, but I think UNC will eventually prevail. I mean, if they lose, it's because they can't hit free throws.
Speaking of North Carolina, we got NC Central going up against Iowa State. It's a 14 versus a 3 seed. Who you guys got?
I got Iowa State.
Iowa's Big 12, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are. Which really only has 10 teams in it.
I don't get me started.
I got Iowa State. They have been on a roll all season long. They had a little rough patch in the middle.
But they finished strong.
But they finished really strong.
And sometimes that's all it takes.
Yeah, I think
they score 83 points per game. They have the nation's best 18.5 assists per game. So I think their offense is just too nasty for NC Central to stop.
However, NC Central, this is their first tournament in school history. So
do we know what conference NC Central is?
The
MEAC.
Yeah, MEAC.
Yeah.
Not the MAC, the Meek.
Not the MAC, the Meek. The Meek.
We all go in Iowa State here?
Yeah.
All right. Now we got Connecticut versus St. Joe's, a 7-10. Who you guys got?
I actually got St. Joe's with the upset.
I do too.
I think St. Joe's has been on a roll. They just won the A10 tournament, which is a tough conference. They've been doing very well lately. I got them winning.
I agree.
I really want to see a St. Joe's versus Villanova showdown, especially in the East. That would be. I mean, everyone would be going crazy about that.
They had a showdown earlier in the season, and it didn't end up being much of a showdown at all. Villanova won by 30.
Yeah, but at the same time, this is the big dance.
Redemption.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But I ended up going UConn.
Okay.
Yeah, I really don't know what I want to do with this game. I think I have like 4 brackets, and I think I split like 2 and 2.
2 and 2.
I just don't know.
Yeah.
All right. What about the SportsStop bracket?
I gotta go St. Joe's.
St. Joe's. All right. I like that. Gotta go with the upset. And then next game to end out the East is Villanova versus Milwaukee.
Actually, it's pronounced Milwaukee.
We're not worthy.
Well, James, this is a tough one for you. I know that much.
This was a tough one to me.
I feel like you might have went Milwaukee on this.
I did not. However, I wanted to so badly.
Villanova beats Milwaukee's best.
I wanted to go Milwaukee as well. I just don't like Nova.
It's Milwaukee. Milwaukee was 5th in the Horizon League, so I'm not sure about that. I've never even heard of the Horizon League.
Yeah, so I mean, Nova.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're all right. Nova.
All right, let's go to the West. We got Arizona versus Weber State. We going in the zone?
Going in the zone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then we got Gonzaga versus Oklahoma State. I really don't like Gonzaga.
I do like Gonzaga, but that's partially because they're from my home state. But I really don't like Oklahoma State. I think Oklahoma State's a very up and down team. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
They're going to be up, and I'm picking Oklahoma State.
I mean, Oklahoma State had a 7-game losing streak earlier this season, which is awful. And yeah, they were missing Marcus Smart for 3 of those.
That's their main guy though.
Yeah. But before that, they were on an 0-4 slide before he went out, and then he went out for 3 games. They lost 3 more.
Yeah, I think he's just going to be focused for the tournament, and
I mean, he's going to come through. But
they lack size, but at the same time, I mean, I think they can play. They can play though.
Gonzaga has John Stockton's son though.
They were the number 1 seed. Yeah.
Yeah, and the guy had a block the other day. I mean, I have Oklahoma State. I don't think it will be that close of a game. I don't think it will be a blowout, but
yeah, I think maybe like by 8 to 10 to 12.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I'm just not a big fan of Marcus Smart, so I'm just thinking Gonzaga.
Yeah. All right, gotcha. Then we got Oklahoma versus North Dakota State, 5 versus a 12. I got Oklahoma.
I got North Dakota State.
I got North Dakota State.
I got Oklahoma.
Okay.
North Dakota State's been on a roll lately. They've had some good wins. They beat Michigan. They beat your team Delaware, who you all got into.
They're Fighting Blue Hens.
They're a really good team, and I think Oklahoma is overseeded. I don't think that they're that good of a team.
Oklahoma's had an up and down year.
Yeah,
but I just see them coming through this in the game.
The one thing that I really like about North Dakota State is that they shoot 51% from the field. And yeah, they play in a Summit League, so not a whole lot of competition, but that's still good for playing in a weak conference.
Oklahoma average is 82.
Yeah. But we'll see what happens when they meet each other.
Yeah, I think it will be a closer game than people would expect, but
yeah, I'm definitely going Oklahoma on this one. And then we got number 4 seed San Diego State versus New Mexico State, Battle of the Southwest.
San Diego State's defense is superb.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah,
so,
they have a fantastic team.
Averaging 56 points allowed. I'm definitely going.
They have scoring goals, but I think their defense will overcome it and take everyone by surprise.
Yeah, they went on a huge run this year. I don't remember how many games they won in a row, but they started outside the top 25 at the beginning of the season. Just went on a huge roll in the Mountain West, ended up at the number 8 seed. They've not 8 seed, but 8th ranked team in the nation. I think that they're a really, really good team.
Yeah, I'm going New Mexico State solely because their center is 7'5", 355
See,
pounds.
I saw that, and that's what I was gonna do. I was gonna go New Mexico State, but I decided against it. I just like Sandy. I just like the Aztecs so much.
He's 7'3".
7'5".
7'5".
Yeah.
7'5". I shorted him. I'm sorry.
Pilar is his name.
What's his name?
Simbular.
Now I'm sure San Diego State's going to win this game. I think I have him going 2 rounds, but I would like to see New Mexico State because I want to see more of that guy.
Yeah.
That's the same with me. If I didn't think San Diego State was such a good team, and if I didn't like San Diego State so much, I would have to take New Mexico State just for the fact that they have a 7'5" center.
Exactly. And, his nickname's Tiny. So we got Baylor versus Nebraska next. It's a 6 versus a 10 seed. Baylor started out hot, but they kind of lost 8 of the 10 games in the middle of the season.
And Nebraska's been on fire. Nebraska had a great end of the season.
You got a team going in relatively cold and a team going in really hot.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm leaning toward Nebraska.
I'm taking Nebraska as well.
Yeah, I took Baylor.
Yeah, I took Baylor too.
I think Baylor's too cold and Nebraska's too hot. Nebraska's got some really good players.
I think what's his name? Isaiah Austin.
Yeah.
I think he's going to have a huge game in this one.
That's the one big thing for me.
He'll limit and he's 7'1".
Yeah, that's the big thing for me. Baylor has 2 really tall dudes.
Yeah.
And Nebraska already gets out rebounded as it is.
That was one of the reasons why I picked them.
Yeah, so I could see them losing this game, but I think Nebraska's too hot.
All right. What's the next one?
You got Oregon versus BYU.
No, Creighton, LA.
Oh, yeah, I skipped one. My fault.
All right, we got Creighton, who with Dylan McDermott going with the number 3 seed versus Louisiana.
Yeah, can't go against McDermott in this game.
I'm not going against McDermott.
The Raging Cajuns, I believe they are.
Yes,
I think
they
go
are.
down. As much as I love their name.
Yeah, I do like them. I love Doug McDermott so much.
Yeah.
He's one of my favorite players out there.
All right, let's finish up this West first.
Now we have Oregon versus
Oregon
BYU.
versus BYU.
I think this is going to be one of the higher scoring games in the tournament. Both great offenses.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
None whatsoever. But I'm going to take Oregon in a nice shootout.
Yeah,
Probably,
I agree.
Well, would it be safe to say 80 to 70, 82, 79, something like that? I like that.
Yeah, it'll probably.
I'd say
end
that.
up
I think it might be higher than that.
Yeah?
Do you think they
There's an
get to
AD
100?
I think somebody's with 100 in this game.
Really?
Wow, okay.
Oregon has such a high-powered offense.
They really do.
That's true, they do.
There's no stopping.
No. And that's why I have Oregon winning.
Yeah.
They're
I have
also
Oregon.
they're also a 5-hour drive for me. So.
All right, and then we're finishing up with Wisconsin versus American. Now, it's hard for me to go against a college that's named American, but I have to go Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah. All right, so we're all in agreement. That was the West. We're going to continue with our brackets after this break, and we'll go to the Midwest, and then we'll quickly fly through the rest of it. The 32, the Sweet 16, the Elite 8, Final 4, until the championship game. So stick around. You don't want to miss it. Here on WSJU Radio, voice of St. John's University.